What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, Joker back again, once again, and today, people, I bring you my initial thoughts, my first impressions on Season of the Yawn, Season of the Dawn. And you just know that a DLC is going to be fucking epic, fucking legendary, when the first thing that you have to go do is go to the Tangled Shore to kill a bunch of random Cabal, and I'm not even talking like Majors or Scions, no, just random Cabal, to get machine parts that they stole, and they're just carrying around, and they're not even important Cabal, they're just any random Cabal. And for the sake of argument, I have to imagine that they're running around carrying these machine parts up their ass, Rick and Morty style.
And I'm gonna need you to put them way up inside your butthole, Morty.
In my butt?
Put them way up inside there, as far as they can fit.
Oh jeez, Rick, I really don't want to have to do that.
Fuck, makes about as much sense as anything else. And yet, somehow, some way, it's still boring. Then again, who knows? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm so jaded that I can't get off without the help of a bullwhip and a car battery clamped to my nipples. But here, let me go ahead and make the case, because I don't think I'm the issue here. Now, we all know that the hallmark of an amazing DLC, an amazing game, is booting it up and getting advertisements. Then, being told to go kill 400 or something like that Cabal. But you know what? Count our blessings. This is the only quest like this in the entire DLC, right? They wouldn't copy and paste almost virtually the exact same quest over and over and over again, would they? Oh, wait, most of them are this sort of kill quest. And in fact, we have a couple that are the exact same quest. And before you think I'm being hyperbolic, normally, I would laugh at the fact that most of these quests are relatively the same. It's kind of lazy, it's kind of funny, but like, ha 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 ha, whatever. But no. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, I present to you the Perfect Paradox quest and the Gambit Pinnacle Weapon Shotgun quest. For those of you just listening and not looking at your screens, I'm showing two quests that basically just ask the player to do the exact same thing. The Perfect Paradox quest wants us to get 200 kills, where the Gambit Pinnacle Weapon wants you to get 500 kills. If you're looking for the trifecta, just play a bunch of Gambit with Lord of Wolves after getting its Catalyst, and you can knock out all three quests at the same time. Yeah, that's classy game development right there. But with such riveting content to experience, you'll be surprised to learn that I was literally falling asleep playing the introductory quest. Yeah, it turns out hatching Charmander eggs looking for a solar-powered shiny is vastly more engaging than, once again, going around and cleaving off the asses of Cabal. Or whatever we're doing. And why is it always, and I mean always, go out and kill like 50 of this, or 100 of this, or 200 of this, or 400 of this? Why no stealth missions? You know, spice things up a little bit. Well, probably because the AI only has one setting. Run headlong in the general direction of the player, very slowly, with very excruciatingly telegraphed movements, or have more HP than God. A stealth mission might just be a little too complex. If only we'd done something like this before. Nah. Or maybe, just maybe, because the whole point of this DLC is fixing a broken timeline, they could have, I don't know, taken inspiration from the criminally underrated Titanfall 2 and given us some cool time-based puzzles. Ones where we're leaping through time and changing the timeline to allow us to progress. Damn, wouldn't that be cool? Now, to be clear, I'm not saying Bungie should have ripped this idea off. What I am saying is the entire point of this DLC is time travel. And another Horde mode with Scion bosses from Destiny 1 was the best they could do? There's not understanding your premise. There's missing the point of your premise. And then there is categorically failing to even remotely execute on your premise. Which is what we see here. This DLC is about time travel. How the actual fuck do you make time travel boring? But you know what? I digress. I'm sure at this point that there is somebody already in the comments section going, "But Joker, it's a shooter. What do you expect? To not shoot things?" And that's where you're wrong. Sure, shooting is the primary way that we engage in combat in Destiny. But according to Bungie, the franchise developer, Destiny is an MMORPG action game. And hey, commenter, normally, I'd agree with you. In fact, I've made the same argument before, but instead of calling a spade and saying that Destiny is an FPS with light RPG elements and some social BS, nope, it's an MMORPG action game. Well, when you say that, you sort of shift expectations. If Bungie wants Destiny to be an MMORPG action game and not say Halo with extra steps, then that's what they need to make. Then again, I do feel bad for comparing Destiny to Halo, because, let's face it, at least Halo had better mission variety. Still waiting for space combat. And you know what? Maybe, just maybe, all of this could have been overlooked if the Keystone activity was worth a shit, and not fucking inconvenient or frustrating. The activity itself is your bog-standard horde mode that really wants to be the Menagerie. But they clearly didn't have the time to develop the Menagerie 2.0, so we just have a few rooms with some light mechanics. And you know what? This is basically what we expected going into it after the reveal. But here's where we get into the real meat and potatoes, where the DLC jumps the shark straight into go fuck yourself levels of absurdity. It's the loot system. Because every video is somebody's first, and not everybody who watches my channel still plays Destiny, let me go ahead and back up a bit and explain the loot system. On some of the planetary destinations, there's an obelisk, a tether, and you need to go through the course of this DLC and activate this tether. Simple stuff, relatively easy, barely an inconvenience. However, in order to get loot during the Sundial activity, you need to activate an obelisk. Oh yeah. What I neglected to mention is, say, for example, you want the grenade launcher. Well, then you have to load into Mars, walk over to the obelisk, interface with the obelisk, activate the obelisk, then load into the Sundial. If you want the auto rifle, you have to go to the Tangled Shore, walk over to the obelisk, interface with the obelisk, then load into the Sundial activity. Meaning, every time you want to change your loot, instead of a handy-dandy chalice where I can just put in a code, or instead of just dropping from the encounters, or instead of just allowing me to have access to the loot for all the obelisks that I've activated over the course of the DLC, no. Every single time you want a new weapon, you must load into a different destination, then walk up to the obelisk, activate the obelisk, then load into the horde mode. What? How in the gleaming white traveler's blown out asshole did that make it past the concept phase? By what Herculean leap in logic that us mere mortals will never be able to comprehend possessed anyone on that development team to think this was a good system? I mean, my fucking god, this idea sprang into somebody's head, and instead of aborting it like a prom night dumpster baby, they said, yes, that sounds great. And then they proceeded to present this failed abortion to designers, artists, writers, coders, people who I would just generally believe not to be lobotomized. And they all said, okay. They prototyped this. They play tested this. People were paid for this idea. And no one along the way said, you know what? Having a player go to a destination each time they want to change their loot reward for the Sundial, the horde mode activity with its own interface, is kind of fucking stupid. How about we don't do that? No one said that? Hell, the vast majority of the people working on this didn't say that. It didn't cross anyone's mind with an ounce of power that this was fucking stupid. What the actual fuck is going on at Bungie? How did we go from the fantastic Chalice of Opulence to the not-so-great Lectern of Enchantment to the okay Ikora's Bounties to this? I mean, at least with Ikora's Bounties, they were less necessary and more just an optimal way of getting what you wanted. It's not like the activity wasn't dropping loot all the time. So with the Ikora Bounties, you could just say, I really don't want to go back to the tower, fuck it. Here you have to have an obelisk linked to guarantee loot. If you don't, go fuck yourself. You just wasted 15 to 20 minutes. I cannot fathom how anyone with a functioning brain stem thought this was a good idea. And you know what? Even if by the end of the season it's all condensed down to one vendor, like I think it will be, kind of like how you had the Final Forge in Season of the Forges, it's still a stupid fucking way to do it because at least the Forges were the activity. All this would do is streamline a bad system. Now, it would be entirely unfair of me to say that everything in Season of the Dawn so far is bad. 99.9999999% of it? Yes. But all of it? No. And I know that the people who are going to accuse me of being a Destiny hater have long since checked out from this video. And you know what? Fuck them. Because I'm not here to prove to them whether I'm a Destiny hater or not. They've already made up their mind and nothing I say is going to change that. What I am here to do is to prove to anyone willing to have the open mind to listen to the argument and believe it at face value when I say, I'm not trying to be a dick when I critique Destiny. I love this game, and I am disappointed with the fact that it is constantly squandering its potential. Season of the Dawn has one of the greatest examples of this squandered potential. Now, for those of you who do not know, because surprisingly enough, there are quite a few people who don't, there is a quest where you get to meet a younger version of Saint-14. The bulk of this quest is the same repetitive, banal shit we've already been dragged through. Get 200 kills with a shotgun, go speak to Osiris, run 5 strikes, or play 5 Gambit matches, or play 5 Crucible games, then go speak to Osiris, then go to Mercury, Io, and Nessus, hunt down 15 boxes hidden around the map, then go kill 50 to 75 Vex. The best way to do this isn't by playing the new Sundial activity, no. It's by running the same Lost Sector over and over and over again. Then go speak to Osiris. This quest chain single-handedly has more padding than the push-up bra aisle of a Victoria's Secret. But all of that monotony, all of that padding finally breaks. And then we get something tangibly great. Something, dare I say, fucking amazing.
All is lost, Guardian! Get out of here! I'll hold them off for as long as I can! The Fallen cannot be stopped! They do not negotiate! Their bargains are lies! I've watched them burn and pillage whole villages in the Cosmodrome! Ah! I've watched drags eat children! They envy us! Their legends say the Traveler chose them before us! And they will kill! They will torture! They will maim to earn their machine god's favor!
Subtle continuity issues aside, because let me tell you, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, there's definitely some retconning going on here. Like, this is supposed to be going on during the Dark Ages, and Saint-14 has made deals or knows of deals that have been made with the Fallen, and in fact knows the Fallen's history. But if you remember in Destiny 1, one of Cayde's ambient dialogues was about how the Fallen language can't just be all barking and clicking, that it has to mean something, and that we have to be able to translate it. So knowing the Fallen language and the Fallen history is something that we got fairly recently. Not all the way back in the Dark Ages, but I'm not here to bitch about continuity, because honestly, you can retcon something, and as long as you do it in a really cool way, as long as there's meaning to it, then I'm okay with it. And here, this rant from Saint-14 is amazing, because it sets up a scenario where we're not just at war with something that we don't understand, that there's a language barrier, and we're just killing each other because, well, we can't communicate. No, we've tried. We've tried to make bargains with them. We've tried to make deals with them. They don't care. They just want to maim, murder, and kill us, eat our children, all in the hope that the Traveler will come back to them. And then we have this moment.
I arrived with 1,000 human bones. Mercury was supposed to be a garden boy, but some facts for him first. They have murdered this planet, and this Fallen of the House of Red dragged us here all the way from the Cosmodrome. They destroyed us.
Saint feels every loss, and the totality of those losses have taken their toll. Right here, we are seeing a broken man, essentially, but we give him hope. We show Saint what he's fighting for.
Another minute and they would have eaten my ghost. Fallen are monsters.
Some are. Are you fit to fight, Titan?
I was supposed to protect these people. I should be dead.
You're stronger than you think.
Not strong enough. What is this?
The perfect paradox, built by my guardian out of spare parts, and light, and sheer will to aid you.
It's beautiful.
I probably shouldn't be showing you this, but when has that ever stopped us? This is the last safe city of humanity, hundreds of years from now. During the day, there are children laughing in the streets. When night falls, the people sleep in their homes, not against the walls, weapons in hand, like the early days.
Like my people.
These are your people, Saint. They're descendants. If you quit the fight, maybe you'll live forever. Your ghost will protect you no matter what. But this last city might never happen.
Everything I've ever built has died. I've buried most of the people I've met. I can't do this. Not anymore.
We all make our own choices. Good luck, Titan.
I often see this ridiculous comment.
But Joker, why do you still play Destiny if you hate it so much?
Well, I don't. It's moments like these with Saint-14 that show me that there is still something here. If the games and the DLC could be more like these moments, instead of the cavalcade of shit that we had to wade through to get here, then we'd fucking have something. That's what I fight for. That's why I make these videos. That's why I still play Destiny. Because every once in a while, you get something like this. Something with a tremendous amount of heart. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. And like always, stay frosty.